Good morning and thank you for dropping by to see me here on the couch. Boy, do we have a good one for you today. This video is a bit of a departure from our normal song tutorials. Today's video is specifically made for Boss Katana amplifier owners or anyone who might be interested in owning one. Last year I made a video about how I dial in specific song tones on my Boss Katana. I'll leave a link to that video here if you've not yet seen it. In that one, I went into detail about how to use the editor portion of the Tone Studio primarily. Some of you asked me to go into greater detail regarding the Librarian and the Tone Central tabs within the Tone Studio application. So let's jump right in and do that now, starting with the Tone Central tab. So the first thing that we want to do is plug in our computer to the back USB port on our Katana. It is a USB Type B connector that's required. If you don't have one of those cables, I will include an affiliate Amazon link in the description where you can get one. As you can see here, mine is in the Editor tab. If you watched the last video, which I'll link to here, we spent a lot of time in the Editor tab. So if you watched that video, you're probably pretty familiar with it, but most people had questions about the Librarian tab. Whoops. The Librarian tab here, and as you can see, I have a bunch of tones that I've created for the lessons that I've taught here. On the left, the Librarian tab will show you your actual amp and the tones that you have there, and then all the tones that you've saved are in live sets off to the right. And then we also have the Tone Central tab where we have different tones that you can use that Boss has actually stored in the software for you. First of all, over here on the left, you'll see the word live set. Live set is just another word for a category or a grouping of different patches. The patches are the actual tones that we'll be using and downloading into the amp. And to start with, any of the patches that you see here, whether it's in Tone Central or in the Librarian, you can instantly sample all of those, and that's why I like to have my guitar plugged in at the same time. So if I want to sample any of these tones, say I want to try this ambient tone, I can click on it and it will switch my amplifier immediately to all the settings that Thomas McRocklin has saved here under his ambient patch. So we have kind of an ambient tone there. If we want to try Thomas's lead patch, we can click on it. My amp instantly switches over. We have a new tone to sample. And that's true for any of these live sets. Here are a group of patches that have been saved by Liquid Charlie. Here is a group songwriting collection by Raphael Bittencourt. Not sure who these guys are, but I'm sure someone probably does. Top 10 by James Ryan. And then some that I particularly like are down here, this Boss Katana Authentic Amp Tones. This has vintage stack, which I use as kind of a foundation for some of my tones. So it's designed to sound like a Marshall stack. There's also obviously a clean, a crunch, just different ones there that you can try. Here's a high gain lead. So you can go through and sample any of those. If you like any of these live sets and you want to put them into your Librarian section, you can do that simply by clicking Add. So let's look at my Librarian tab again here. These are just tones and live sets that I've created. But let's say that I want to put this Mark II Authentic Amps. I want that in my Librarian. So I'm going to click Add. says that it's completed. When I click Librarian, there it is, authentic amp tones. So now I have added it to the tones that I've created. If I want to take any of those out, I can simply hit the Edit tab, a little trash can comes up, and I can either go through and take out specific patches, or I can take out the entire live set. It'll ask me if I'm sure I want to delete it. Yes. And now it is gone again. Now the same thing holds true. If I click on any of these patches that I've created, my amp will instantly go to those tone settings. And then I can go back to Editor and change any of those. Like right now I'm in the Blackfoot setting here. I want to go to the panel setting. It'll switch over to how my panel's actually set up currently. So that's just kind of a quick rundown of how those things work. You can also move patches around here. So just as an example, I've got in the metal section, I've got Inner Sandman, I've got Iced Earth, but I've not yet moved this Ice Earth solo tone over here. So if I just grab it with my cursor and I drag it over and drop it in, it imports it, and now it is saved there in the metal section as well. You can also import from other places. For example, Facebook has several different Boss Katana groups. This is just one, and I'm signed up with quite a few of them, so I don't want to necessarily say this one's better than that one, but these are all good groups to be in if you have a katana, lots of good information. But anytime you can click the Files section here, and under the Files, these are all live set files that you can download. So let's say this thing called Love. Say we want to download that one specifically. If you click on them, they'll tell you a little bit about them. And also, while I'm thinking about it, let's jump back real quick. One of the cool things in Tone Central that I neglected to mention, I think, for just about all of these, there is usually a video that goes through and shows you the different patches. If not a video, there's at least a description, a listing of what those patches are going to sound like. But again, most of them have a YouTube video that you can listen to them and get an idea of if that live set is going to be beneficial to you. But going back over here to my Facebook group, let's say I want to download this thing called Love. For whatever reason, I've read that. And I think that is going to benefit me. So I want to download this file. I can click on it. It downloads. It's completed. Next. So I just got to move some things around here. Now, if I want to upload that into my Librarian, I have these buttons over here. One is an import and one is an export. So to export, I can send any of the files that I have here out to other places. For example, I can upload them to the Facebook group. I can upload them to my Buy Me a Coffee page and make them available to people. But if I want to add the one that I have just downloaded, I'll click on that little file. I click on this thing called Love patch, and now that entire live set is in my Librarian, including this thing called Love. So there's all of the different patches that were within this thing called Love live set that we just downloaded from the Facebook group. If I want to get rid of it, there it's gone again. And that is really the majority of how this works. We can move things around with our cursor. We can create a new live set. Say I want to create one for country music. I just edit and type in country. And now I have a new live set over here titled Country. Doesn't have any tones in it yet because I've not created any. So let's say I go over here to Tone Central, and I like this sparkle tone. I want to add it into my Librarian. I add it in. It's there now. I'm going to click on it so it gets my amp set up for that tone. Now when I click over here to the editor, oops, sorry. When I click editor, it's going to show my amp settings for that sparkle tone. And if I want to write it to any one of these channels on my amp, I can do so with the write button. Once it's written to one of these channels, say I swapped it out for the I Stir solo one, then I can grab it and I can drag it into the country. I'll show you how that works, just so you know. So we will write this in as, we're going to put it on channel B1. I write it, so now that sparkle tone is saved there. So now I go to Librarian, I want it saved into my country section. It imports it. Now it's there in my country section. If I want to get rid of this, I can get rid of that. Now I have my new country live set, and that's the first tone that I've saved there. If I want to get rid of the whole thing, click on the whole thing and it's gone. So that's it. I know this is a pretty short video, pretty easy as far as operations that are needed within the Librarian and the Tone Central tabs. Hope this information has been helpful. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope this information proves beneficial for you. As always, I would encourage you to pick Jesus. I'd encourage you to seek Him with all of your heart. If you like what I'm doing here, I'll ask that you give me a thumbs up below and that you subscribe to the channel. If you would like to own an amazing and affordable Boss Katana amp or any of the gear that I use here on this channel, there are affiliate links in the description. I'll also post a link to my Buy Me a Coffee page if you would like to buy me a coffee. In the very near future, maybe now, depending upon when you're watching this video, we will have merch available there, and you'll also be able to get the patches that I have created on my katana for the songs that I teach on this channel. I sincerely appreciate your support, and I hope to see you back again soon, right here on the couch.